Good morning. Today we'll be seeing the file system interface. In this unit, we will be seeing what is the concept of files, how the files is accessed. So there are various access methods in which the file can be accessed. Then the files are organized in various ways. So we'll see the disk and directory structure. Then what is meant by file system mounting. Then the various ways in which the file can be shared and why the protection of file system is necessary. So computer users store programs and data in files so that they can be used conveniently and repeatedly. The user has many expectations from a file system. The obvious ones are firstly, convenient and fast access to files. Second, reliable storage of files. And third, control sharing of files with other users of the system. Now, what is the concept of file? The file can be imagined as a contiguous logical address space. That means it's a single block present as a single unit. There are various types in which a file can be present. There are various types which can be including the data, program and various other types. The data here can be numeric, it can be character or it can even be binary. Now the program here in case of scenario, in this scenario contents are defined by the program files creator. There are again various types of files. The files could be a text file, it could be a source file, it could be executable file and many more. Now what are the file attributes? File attributes are the characteristics of the file that are important to its users or to the OS. So the various file attributes include name, the identifier or ID, type, then location, size, the protection and few more. So what is the name of a file signify? So it's only information which is kept in a human readable form. Whereas the ID, it's a unique tag or it's a number that indicates file within a file system. Now there can be various types of files. So a type indicates this is so a type field is need or attribute is needed for a file which indicates the files that are supported by the system. Location indicates the pointer to a file location on a device. The size indicates what is the current file size. The protection attribute controls who can do the reading, writing, and executing. So it controls the access to the files. Then there is time, date, and user identification. So this is the data required for protection, security, and usage monitoring. Now information about the files are kept in a directory structure which is maintained on a disk. Many variations can be present, including extended file attributes such as file checksum, which determines whether the file is in the original form or it has got corrupted. And information is kept in a directory structure. Now there are various file operations, like how you have file attributes, you have many file operations. So the OS is responsible for creating and maintaining a file, for ensuring that it can be accessed by users but only in accordance with the access privileges specified for it, and for deleting the file when requested by its owner. So there are various files operations which can take place. So as we know, a file is an abstract data type. So the various operations which can be present for a file is firstly opening of a file. So a process executes the open statement before performing file processing. The file system locates the file and checks whether the user executing the process has the necessary access privileges. It also performs some housekeeping actions to initiate processing of the file. Then another operation can be reading or writing a record. So in this process issues a appropriate command to read or write a record. The file system considers the organization of the file and implements the read or write operation in an appropriate manner. Another operation could be closing of a file. In case of closing of a file, execution of a close statement indicates to the file system that processing of the file is completed. The file system updates the information concerning the size of the file, that is, number of records in it, in its data structures. The another operation could be the file creation. The file A file is created by making a copy of an existing file or by writing records in a new file. The file system stores information concerning size of the file in its data structures. It also stores information concerning access privileges for the file. Then the operation could be file deletion. The file is deleted from the directory structure of a file system whenever file deletion operation is taking place. The secondary storage medium occupied by the file is freed in this scenario. Another operation could be file renaming. The file system remembers the new name of the file in its directory structure. Another operation could be specifying access privileges. So the user can specify or change access privileges of a file created by his process at any time during the file's lifetime. These are the various file types, their names and extensions. So the various file types could be executable file, object file, source file, which is the source code, batch file, then the text file, word processor file, library, and few more. Next, the file structure. So whenever there is the file can be considered to be a sequence of words or bytes. So it could be a simple record structure wherein the file will be consisting of many lines, where the lines could be and the file size could be of fixed length or variable length. Or there could be complex structures where which the things which come under this are formatted document and relocatable load file. Now it is possible to simulate the last two with the first method by inserting appropriate control characters. Now who decides whether this can take place? So the control is generally with the operating system or with the program. Next we come to the sequential access file. In sequential file organization, records are stored in ascending or descending sequence by the key field. The access pattern of an application is expected to be a sequence of this subsequence of this sequence. Accordingly, a sequential file supports two kinds of operations: read the next or previous record and skip the next or previous record. A sequential file is used in an application if its data can be conveniently pre-sorted into an ascending or descending order. Now, most of the I/O devices can be accessed sequentially, and sequential files are not crucially dependent on device characteristics. Consequently, a sequential file can be migrated easily to a different kind of device. The sequential file organization is also used for byte stream files. So this is a pseudocode showing how the access methods are used for accessing a particular type of file. Now there is another access called direct access where the file is a fixed length logical records. So it's assumed that a file is a fixed length of logical records. The direct file organization provides convenience and efficiency of file processing when records are accessed in a random order. To access a record, a read or write command only needs to mention its key. Hence, access to a record is independent of which record was accessed prior to it. If a process wishes to access the record for employee number 125, and if the last record read from the file was for employee number 36, it would have to be explicitly it would have to explicitly skip the intervening records if it used the sequential file organization. However, these actions are avoided in direct file organization, which makes it both convenient and efficient. Direct files are recorded on disks. When a process provides a key value, the access method for the direct file organization applies a transformation to the key value to generate a address, which is consisting of a track record and a record number, track number and a record number. So this is the pointers which are used in case of sequential access and how they are used in the direct access file. In the next lecture, we will be seeing the directory structure in which the file is organized into.